Comedy Film Nerds Podcast.
So let's go to actress in her leading role. Frances McDormand won this for 3 billboards. I really thought Sally Hawkins deserved it a little more, and the reason is because she played a mute character and had to really act and emote with her eyes, her facial expressions, her gestures, and it created more of a challenge for the actress, and I thought she pulled it off beautifully.
Yeah.
But Frances McDormand, not to take anything away from her, it was a good performance.
She's a very good actress.
But I thought Sally Hawkins deserved it.
Yeah,
more.
and I think there's some good moments in 3 billboards, obviously, but and Frances McDormand, the angry mom who wants justice for her daughter, and then the time she sort of has there's that one scene where she has that memory about the last thing she said to her daughter, and
right.
that was a really powerful scene.
Yeah.
But this isn't necessarily Frances's fault, but the problems personally that I had with the movie was the uneven tone of it. It's like this heavy thing and then wacky jokes. I was like, that took me out of it, and so I couldn't give her Best Actress for that for me personally because, again, what you said, Sally Hawkins, the emotions she conveys without talking,
right,
is the best acting.
Yes,
you know what I mean, of the people in that category, in my opinion.
And Margot Robbie did a good job. Saoirse Ronan did a good job. But I'll tell you, The Post. The Post was one of those movies where you thought when you saw who was behind it, Spielberg, Hanks, Streep, it was going to be this crazy slam dunk of an amazing emotional movie, and it was flat.
It was kind of like the Margaret Thatcher movie she did a couple years ago. Good, decent. She's an amazing actress.
It was good,
but
not horrible, but it really didn't.
But compare it to Spotlight.
I was just going to say that. If you compare it to Spotlight...
Spotlight, you're gripped the whole time.
You are literally on the edge of your seat for Spotlight. And, that scene with Mark Ruffalo yelling at Michael Keaton, it could have been your kid. It could have been my kid. It could have been one of us. I mean, it's such a powerful, emotional scene. There's none of those scenes in The Post.
Well, that's the thing, too. That the Spotlight is such a great example. Oof. Every single...
That's a newsroom drama.
Yeah. The entire cast was amazing. And again, Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep, great. But like the scene where Michael Keaton... I mean, all this, he has so many great scenes. The scenes with Paul Guilfoyle.
He's the anchor of the entire thing.
At the bar.
Right.
Yeah.
And the guy comes in and he goes, so this is how it works? Mike, guy leans on a guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. That subtle racist speech of like, hey, he's from Miami. He's not one of us. We know what that means, Jew. You know what I'm saying? You know what we know as white guys, we know when another white guy says that he's being a racist fuck. Yeah. The scene where Michael Keaton has to own the fact that he buried one of these stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You have to see that look on his face where he has to, and they're all Irish Catholics.
Right.
Sans Mark Ruffalo and Stanley Tucci. I mean, even that scene with Stanley Tucci where they're at the restaurant. And he goes, "These people think they're so much better than everyone else. Look how they treat their kids." You know what I mean? Like,
now the emotion you've shown in literally like in 70 seconds talking about Spotlight is more than the entire film, The Post. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's just the entire film, The Post. It just happens.
It's flat.
It happens.
Flat.
Yeah. It just all right. Well, this is, and you know what it's going to be. The beats, you know it.
Right. Yeah. It was like I said it before. It was just like watching people at work.
Yeah.
It was like, you're all right. All right, this is how people make a movie. I'm watching Tom Hanks at work. I'm watching Meryl Streep at work. I never got into the story, never got into the characters, and it wasn't a terrible movie. It was just flat.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's like watching an amazing athlete, like LeBron James or Michael Jordan. This is a regular season game. It ain't the play. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he had 25 points. Yeah. It wasn't some like double overtime. He made the last shot with 3 guys in his face. Yeah. It was just sort of like, they played
a yeoman performance.
Exactly.
For superstars, for brilliance. But they played to the level of what they had. I mean, It's just, they Milton Berled it. They only got enough to win.
Right. So, actor in a leading role. Now, this one, there was no surprise.
I'm sorry, before we move on from actress.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love with Frances McDormand in Fargo.
Yes.
Like that weird.
I agree.
I mean that thing inside you where you're like, I want somebody like that.
And
I love her.
I bet that's your partner in the wood chipper there.
Yeah. Oh, you want to protect her. You want great things for her. You're happy at the end when he gets the tree cent stamp and he makes her breakfast. I mean, it's such love. And I fell in love with her and that character. And then subsequently in movies I've seen her, I've loved her all the time. But then I equate that to I see Shape of Water, and I fall in love with her.
Yeah.
I have
Right.
the same feeling I had watching Frances McDormand in Fargo, where I
Right.
want good things. I want, please, let good things happen. Please, I don't give a care if she's fucking a fish. Fine, whatever the hell. She deserves all good things. She's lived a life of quiet solitude and eggs and finger blasting, and good for you. That's fine. And if you find a fish who makes you happy, that's great, because you're sobbing,
root for
going,
her.
please,
You root for her.
please, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know they're not going to betray you with some 11th hour destruction of her dream. I mean, but it's still, the ride to get there is so brilliant and so great.
Look
and
at her best friend. Her best friend is Richard Jenkins.
Yeah.
Like, what a
Yes.
character you root for.
so great.
And what she has to do at work.
I just watched Shape of Water last night. I mean, I hadn't seen it, and so I just sat there, I'm sobbing in my house, just transfixed by her and everything she did.
Right.
She's so great, and you like I said, you fall in love with that character, with her.
Yes.
And so I thought it was interesting that I again had that feeling from McDormand and Fargo, and watching Three Billboards, I had a feeling that I was watching Frances McDormand's mom from Almost Famous in a different film. Because that's kind of her stock in trade now, is the jut-jawed, tough woman, plain spoken, who's going to fucking get it done. You know what I mean? And she can be she can be cursy, she can be mean, but she's amped it up in Three Billboards, obviously.
Right.
And she's terrific. She's so good.
And she plays Broken really well.
Yes,
too.
but that's the thing. Then you see it the third time, and you go, oh yeah, that's her doing that Frances McDormand thing. It's a dangerous trap to get into for an actor or an actress, because I love what she did. I really liked Three Billboards, and I thought she's amazing at it. But that's Sophie Hawkins, is that her name?
Sally
Hawkins.
yeah.
Holy God! I mean, you want to hug her. You want to just find her and just thank her.
What you're talking about is that thing of when you can't picture the actor in any other role when you're watching.
I IMDb'd her after the movie.
Yes.
And then almost went, I don't want to know. I don't want to know if I've seen her in anything else.
And you have.
Yeah.
I mean, you've literally seen her in things like...
She was in Godzilla.
Yeah, and Paddington.
I sat through that garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in Paddington, and then she was also in that Woody Allen movie.
And also, I don't know if I want her to talk ever. In another film, I want her to be that character in every movie. To be affected and moved and to fall in love with something. I get it. I think I wish she'd have won for that.
And I think, and again, not to take Frances McDormand is fantastic. I mean, I fell in love with her in Raising Arizona.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah.
Has he had his dip tan? I really like her, but that's the thing. And this is we've talked about this before. It is a trap of a big A-list Oscar pedigree actor. It's like The Post. I'm watching, there's Tom Hanks.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? There's Frances McDormand doing Frances McDormand.
Yes.
Right.
Versus Sally Hawkins. Now, she's not A-list. She's played a lot of supporting characters. This is her breakout, obviously. But that's the difference, is the actor when...
Supporting to a lot of, CG creatures.
Yeah, a lot of CG creatures. But that character, when you can be that actor that goes, wow, I can't think of any of their other work in this
Right.
when I'm watching this part.
Exactly.
Like,
and if the fact that you can see a story about a woman who falls in love with a monster,
Right.
a merman monster, and it's legendary Frankenstein. All these movies have that. But that scene with the record player and she gives him the one egg and he snatches it and he goes away, and then she comes back and she lines up like the 8 eggs the next that one time, and then the record player, the joy on her face when she stops the music and he acknowledges what music is, and then she puts it back down and he likes it, and then she takes it out and she's being playful, like she's never feared him. She never feared him. He's getting cattle prodded and bleeding, and he's a monster, and he's the asset. He's always dehumanized, even though he's not human, but she humanizes him.
Right.
And from the jump, from the second they roll him in, she's on board.
And, and in return, she gets humanized by the creature.
Well, the other thing, too, is like she's portrayed in the beginning. She's introduced as this meek little weak, and she fights hard. She's tough as nails, man. She's like, no, not backing down. I'm in love with this fish, dude. This is going to shake.
I'm going to save him.
This is my moment. This is what my life is. Because she even says that in the thing where she says he sees me through all my incompleteness. I think it is when she has the thing.
She doesn't know that there's something missing.
Yeah.
He doesn't know there's something
missing. When he shrieks at her in the beginning, she just kind of stands up and looks at him like, "Oh, that's happening now." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so. And I was actually confused for a second. I go, "Oh, she can't hear him. She couldn't hear the crazy blood curdling shriek." But then I went, "No, she's a mute. She can absolutely hear him.
Yeah.
She just wasn't afraid.
She just can't talk,
and she didn't recoil. Yeah, God.
Hot shot first. Well, the kitten had